In search of solutions to the supply chain crisis, while ships back up in ports elsewhere and the federal government considers using the National Guard, Jacksonville steps up to relieve the pressure.
We're open for business, and so are our ports open for business, and not just 8 hours a day. We work round the clock.
All the ports in Florida want to help, but we're talking with an expert from Jacksport today, already the largest container port by volume in the state. Analysis of the trends and opportunities on This Week in Jacksonville. Glad you're with us today. So we've heard plenty about supply chain issues over the past few months. We've also seen the impact on store shelves and on the bottom line when we check the shopping cart. Is Jacksonville coming to the rescue? Governor Ron DeSantis made a stop at Jacksport recently to emphasize that Florida ports are open. And then this week, he said it's making a difference already.
Jacksonville Port, Tampa, South Florida, all these ports, there's a huge amount of buzz and a lot of ability to be able to do more and more. Once the goods come, though, we have the ability to get them out to consumers and to businesses using a variety of ways, including rail, but also with the trucking. And we need to make sure that we have folks that are going to be able to fill those positions. It's really, really important. Some companies offer truck drivers more than $100,000 a year and even do five-figure bonuses. That's how much this is in demand.
And joining us this morning by Zoom, Robert Peak, Director and General Manager of Business Development for Jacksport. Robert, I appreciate you being with us. We heard the governor say even a week ago when he was at Jacksport, he said, we're going to make sure Americans get their Christmas gifts this season. So help us understand the why of ports being congested. Are there too few workers at the ports, or is it somewhere farther down the supply chain?
Well, you're spot on, Kent, in that it's really a complicated problem, that there's a lot of different factors to it, but it really began pre-COVID when you had some ports, particularly on the West Coast of the United States, they already were feeling the pinch of some congestion, as were some of their warehouses. And then COVID hit, and what did people do? They stayed at home, they got on their computers, they started buying things online. A lot of those goods are made overseas. They were put on ships, and those ships were coming to those very same U.S. ports that were already congested. So you had kind of this extended surge, if you will, of import volume that was driven by COVID to ports that were already congested. And then some of those ports and some of the supply chain elements there, including trucking and warehousing, particularly in the West Coast, had labor issues because of COVID. There just were not enough truck drivers or enough warehouse workers. And so you really had kind of this formula, if you will, of congested ports that were getting more and more ships being brought to it, surging more volumes with fewer workers. And that really is a formula for congestion.
Yeah, Governor DeSantis used Jacksonville to talk about all the ports in the state. What is the unique advantage to Jacksport logistically? What is it about Jacksport?
Well, it starts with the fact that we do not have the congestion here that we're seeing at other ports, both on the West Coast and also to our north. That on those ports, you might have literally dozens of ships stacked up waiting to get into port. At Jacksport, we have no congestion, no waiting. If a ship shows up, it can get to a berth and work. In fact, even some of the larger ships can be unloaded and reloaded and sail all in less than 24 hours. In smaller ships, in less than 8 hours. And you contrast that with West Coast ports or ports to our north, where ships will wait out at sea literally for a week just to get into port and unload. And then I'll layer on top of that from Jacksonville, you can reach almost 100 million consumers within a one-day truck drive. So as those goods get here, they can get to a lot of people very quickly.
Well, and I think about one of those things that you're referencing, that truck drive. So two major interstates intersect right here in Jacksonville. I know I've been on the west side of Interstate 10. That's all the way to where the port of Los Angeles would be, and then I-95 yes. Up and down the East Coast. Dredging the St. Johns River to 47 feet, that looks, as I understand it, that'll wrap up in the next year. Will that increase traffic here as hoped?
It will, Kent. In fact, that's a significant project. Our channel's at 40 feet deep. We're going down to 47 feet. And what that'll do is two things. The first thing it will do is allow us to retain much of the business we built over the last 10 years or so. As these ships get larger and larger, and the global shipping fleet is getting larger and larger, those ships are getting to be too large to come into a harbor with the depth that we currently have. But by going to 47 feet, we can accommodate those larger ships. We'll be able to retain the existing business we've gotten over the last few years. And more importantly, to grow our business, bring in more of these ships, not only during this period of congestion, but long term. And that's what many of these shipping lines and major shippers are looking for, is the long-term play. And they're looking for ports that have invested in their harbors and in their infrastructure, the way Florida ports have done, the way Jacksonville has done, so we can accommodate their business, and we will.
So I want to show some video here, but Carnival cruise trips, they're returning to Jacksonville 2 years after suspending service due to COVID-19. According to the Carnival website, bookings for Carnival Ecstasy begin March 3rd, 2022, with sailings from Jacksonville to the Bahamas. So, Robert, Carnival, they hope to begin sailing this past summer, and then this month, Carnival announced 17 of its ships will return to service at the end of the year, the full fleet sailing by the spring. What is the impact to Jacksport and the workforce when those trips are able to resume?
Yeah, we really missed the cruise business. It will be 2 full years in March since we've had a ship. About 200,000 passengers a year travel on this Carnival cruise ship, at least historically had done so before COVID hit. And there's a tremendous impact for us in terms of not only direct revenues for the port, but for some of the businesses that rely on the cruise business in Northeast Florida. We have such a great geographic location for many of these cruisers because they're able to drive to our cruise port in very short order. You know, I mentioned on the cargo side, how many people you can reach within a one-day truck drive. Well, think there's tens of millions of people who can drive to Florida, drive to Jacksonville, throughout really all over the United States and get on board this vessel. So we're very eager for it to resume service.
Robert, if you'd wrap us up in like the last minute. I know there's lots of competition between the other ports that are here in this side of the country for sure. This announcement in the last week or so really announced, hey, nationally, we are competing here at Jacksport as well. How do you feel about what's been achieved or how Jacksport has handled the pandemic and a year and a half plus of these challenges?
Kent, we're really proud of what we've been able to do. We operate on a fiscal year which ends September 30th. So our fiscal year just ended, and we just set a record for the number of containers we moved through the port, 1.4 million. We've handled containerized cargo for over 50 years. We've never handled that many cargo containers before, a new port record. And this is right before harbor deepening comes. And so when harbor deepening comes, it's going to allow us to accommodate even more business. Really, a lot of the credit goes to the workers, the terminal operators, the longshore labor, the warehouse workers, the truck drivers. We have a tremendous transportation and logistics workforce in Northeast Florida. I think it's the best in the country. And really, that's what drives a lot of this new business.
Yeah. Well, Robert Peak, Director and General Manager of Business Development for Jacksport. Appreciate your insights, your expertise, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
So coming up, the Women's Giving Alliance celebrating 20 years and showcasing some of the impact that they've made here in the region. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
I've never been in a trial. My life is out of control.
Who will protect my rights?
We didn't know who to call.
So I took back control.
Our family wants to take back control. So do I.
I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. We can help you in a variety of legal matters, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call us at 904-600-4000 for a consultation and take back control of your life.
This can't be good.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Luckily, your Volkswagen is easy. The all-new 2022 Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than its Toyota, Honda, and Subaru competitors. Life's easier in a Volkswagen. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the all-new 2022 Taos S for just $229 a month.
Morgan & Morgan is not only America's largest injury law firm, we're also a local law firm with branch offices right here in your community. We're here for you. Wherever you are, whatever you need, there's only one Morgan & Morgan for the people.
There are some things you shouldn't do alone. Another time not to go it alone is when you are really sad, can't stop feeling anxious, or just aren't quite like yourself. If you think you need help, get help. Don't let anyone or any label stop you.
At ViStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise. to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. That's our focus. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better.
Watching my father build this law firm and practice law, he taught me hard work. There really is no substitute for hard work. I learned through the military a disciplined, focused approach that I took into how I practice law, in addition to a team approach that it's not just one individual. You have to rely on your team. The hard work, the discipline, the focus, the results will come from that.
Are you being profiled before you're pulled over?
If you're stopped by the Florida Highway Patrol, it's not personal.
The I-Team puts the Florida Highway Patrol's actions under the microscope, digging into 5 years of records, millions of stops.
The drivers getting the most attention from troopers and how they could know what you look like before stopping your car.
What would you say to the public?
Auditing Bias, Monday at 5 on News 4 Jax. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
The Women's Giving Alliance in Northeast Florida. They have with a milestone and this continuing mission to help. Mary Peaton joins us today, the immediate past president of WGA. So, Mary, 20 years investing in the lives of women and girls across Northeast Florida. Describe for us the work in, as I read in your news release there, in supporting marginalized women and girls. What do you guys do?
Well, when we came together, when we decided to create this collective giving circle, we realized that one of the areas in our community that needed addressing was the funding of programs that address specifically the needs of women and girls. And so we are a grant-making agency, and depending on our focus, the different agencies in the community will apply for grants to us, and we have a huge committee that vets all of the grants. And then we give the money, and then we follow up with the agencies and make sure that, A, they're doing the work that they asked them for the money for, so that they're doing what they want it to do. And also, we really want to make sure they're successful. So if they start having any problems, we ask them, is there anything we can do? Can we change the parameters of this grant? Because we really want these programs to work.
So, Mary, I want to show some information for our viewers right now. The Women's Giving Alliance awarded $7.7 million in grants to 68 nonprofits. It touched more than 30,000 women and girls, and a $5 million endowment's been built over these 20 years. Those are eye-popping numbers about what can be accomplished. I appreciate, I think everyone who gives to an organization appreciates hearing, oh, there's some accountability there. Talk to me a little bit about how that is done, how organizations or grant nominees are vetted.
Well, in our organization, we make the decision up front what the grant focus will be. And I'll use, right now we're talking about helping to fund programs that will help eradicate poverty. And that could be for women and girls. And that could be things like wonderful programs in education, because we know the more educated these women are, and if they can at least get their high school degree, that they have a far better chance of then going forward and attaining a job. But I'm going to use mental health as a wonderful example. We did that focus for 5 years. Some years ago. And we were kind of the agency that brought mental health back into the conversation after JCCI was disbanded. There was no agency doing that, no organization. And so we started talking about the needs of mental health in women and girls. And in the end, ended up stating the parameters of these grants, and the agencies like Salzbacher Center, Beam, et cetera, a lot of them applied for grants and had programs. And what they do is, once they apply for the monies, we then read the grants carefully, and we have a team of about 25 people who do that. And then the decision gets made. The entire membership has to vote on it. And then once that happens, we have another team that's called the evaluation team, and we set up quarterly visits with the agencies. Now, of course, once the pandemic hit, that changed completely. And we ended up doing virtual visits on a less frequent basis, but we're still in contact with these agencies. And we also have an annual convening of all of these agencies. And we sit down and talk to them about, what are your needs? Are we helping you? Is there anything else that you need? Because as I said, we really do want them to be successful, but we also don't want to simply give money if it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it just a moment ago, the pandemic. I mean, it took a bite out of every industry, every organization. How did it affect WGA, and how have you adjusted?
Well, for us, it was a matter of making most of our meetings Zoom meetings like so many others. I think how we ended up adjusting was because of watching the agencies we were funding and seeing what they have to do, because they're so used to working with clients face to face. And here's a perfect example, the Boys and Girls Club. They have programs, after school programs. Well, suddenly with the pandemic, that was something that wasn't as easily done. And so they tried to reach out to a lot of their, the young teens and everything that were a part of the programs, but they needed to have laptops for everyone. So there was all of a sudden a need that wasn't, based on a program so much, it was almost an operational need. And that was the sort of thing we started discovering, that we started shifting a little bit, and again, went back to the agencies and said, okay, how can we help? Because we want you to get through this. It is amazing how well the agencies pivoted. It is just amazing.
Final thing, in the time that you've been involved with the Women's Giving Alliance, what's maybe your favorite story, the favorite moment where boy, we made an impact in that person's life?
Oh, gosh.
I know, I'm limiting you to one, right? And
you
maybe
are,
about
you
60
are,
seconds
exactly.
Or less, so now the pressure is on.
I know. And I'm trying to narrow it down, because I have been involved for the full 20 years. I'm one of the founding members. And I think the biggest thing for me has been getting to know the agencies themselves and some of the staff, because they're the ones who then turn around and share the stories of the difference that we've made, helping them in turn help their clients and everything like this. And we don't always get to meet the individuals that we're helping, but we do get to work closely with the agencies. And I think that's really been the thing for me, is getting to know these different agencies.
Yeah. So. Mary, I know that I've enjoyed the opportunity to be at some of your events over the years. I know you guys are working hard to make a difference. Thank you so much, Mary Peetson from Women's Giving Alliance.
Thank you very much.
All right, stay with us. Just ahead, he's freed to run. The local attorney, an amazing racer, plans to run half a dozen marathons in 6 days. Why Mike Freed is lacing up the sneakers again, next on This Week in Jacksonville.
If you've been injured by medical malpractice, call Farah and Farah for a free review of your case, even if another firm has turned your case down. Farah and Farah.
Oh, it looks like we're in a screensaver.
We need to go higher. Higher, definitely higher.
We're like yodeling high.
Yodeling? No, don't do that.
We should go even higher.
I'm good.
Me too.
Adventure has a new look.
Let's go lower. Lower. That sounds good.
Discover more in the all-new Subaru Outback Wilderness. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Go ahead, share and pin your local photos on Snapjacks.
Hi, I'm Greg with JWB Home Buyers.
And I'm Pablo, and we want to buy your distressed house.
We've bought property for cash from over 2,000 Jacksonville homeowners.
With no commissions and no repairs.
We love to buy empty lots and houses in any condition and any price range.
Whether it needs a ton of work or is in pretty good shape, we buy them all.
So if you have a house or lot that you need to sell fast,
give us just a few minutes on the phone today.
Call 904-333-3333.
Stanley Steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley Steamer now goes beyond carpet. We've been cleaning tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, air ducts, and a whole lot more. We don't just clean carpets, we clean homes. So when your home needs a cleaning, give us a ring at 1-800-STEAMER.
Fender benders seem like no big deal. But what if I told you the rapid head movement from whiplash can cause brain damage? We know it because we've seen it. If you're having symptoms like headaches and memory loss, Farah can help.
We've overcome many challenges this last year and found new ways to do business, safe ways to put on events, seminars, or corporate meetings. Your virtual event doesn't have to be bland. At Omni, we will safely elevate your event to a professional and engaging presentation. Better lighting, better video and audio. Plus, we have a distribution channel with our website that no one else can provide. Whatever your virtual event needs are, call Omni today and we'll do the rest.
Hi, honey. Oh, I missed you.
You just want to video call the kids.
Okay. Hush, little baby.
Don't say a word. But if slow upload speeds turn your good night call into an accidental horror movie,
Can you hear me?
shut it down. Just remember, you're not a bad mom. You just need better internet.
AT&T Fiber delivers faster upload speeds for more reliable video calls. Get AT&T Fiber, plan starting at $35 a month for a year. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-877 only ATT.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
He's doing it again. Local attorney Mike Freed is freed to run, as he puts it, and he's joining us now by Zoom. Mike, thanks for joining us today. And this is, I don't know, how many years where you run 6 marathons in 6 days, which is outrageous?
Yeah, so it's 4 years done, and this will be the 5th year. So 24 marathons as part of this. This will be 30 by the time we're done.
We'll talk about the places you'll run in a moment. First, though, tell me about the purpose of what you do here.
Yeah, so this is just a beautiful thing that it's hard for anybody to be against. We support pediatric patients, and specifically, it's a coming together of the legal and medical communities to provide legal solutions and lawyers to assist pediatric patients and their families when they're struggling with terminal and acute illnesses for their children. There's oftentimes regulatory, insurance, access issues, maybe things with school that a lawyer is uniquely qualified to help. So all the money that we raise gets matched 125% by the Baptist Health Foundation, and it goes into an endowment, and the interest on that money goes to fund this program to help pediatric patients in perpetuity.
I think we got some video of past Freed to Run events. So while we look at this, maybe explain why this is the cause. Why did you decide, hey, this is the need I want to help fill?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit opportunistic. I definitely decided, since I'm a lawyer and my firm is obviously a law firm, that we wanted to help fill the justice gap. There's just people in every community that need access to lawyers and don't have them. And Jacksonville Area Legal Aid does a wonderful job of filling that need, as do pro bono lawyers like those in my firm. And so I wanted to help that. And then the Baptist Health Foundation came along and said, you know, we have a specific need for lawyers to help pediatric patients and their families. And they were so committed to it that they agreed to provide 125% match for every dollar we raise. And that was an offer too good to refuse.
No kidding. Yeah. Incredibly generous, yeah. Hey, so I want to show some information on our screen here. This extraordinary event starts in just a couple of weeks. And this is kind of the path here. It starts at the Supreme Court in Tallahassee, finishes at the Duval County Courthouse, and it goes Monday, November 15th through Saturday, November 20th. But Mike, I can't let you get away without having you explain this. Is it just you running, or do you have others join in? And does anyone else run all 6 days?
So far, no takers on the 6 days. So far, I'm the only one who's run it from start to finish. Year one, it was just me and my kids and me chasing them down State Road 90. But it captivated people. And now this year, I expect to have more than 200 runners joining us at various places. ViStar Credit Union has come on in a big way. And they're going to have a team of 2 to 3 runners every day with me. Maybe not the same runners, but different runners from different of their branches along the way. The Jacksonville Jaguars are involved, the Jacksonville Icemen, Florida Blue, AT&T. It's going to be amazing. And then we finish with a 5K from Beaver Street Fisheries Saturday afternoon down to the courthouse lawn. And it gets more and more crowded the closer we get. Elite Parking and Jacksonville Transportation Authority provide transportation for anybody who wants to join us along the way. They can go to freedtorun.com to find out more about that.
I have never run the 26 miles involved in a marathon myself. I haven't done that once. and then you're going to do it 6 times in 6 days. So jokingly, I was going to ask you, you're bonkers. But I mean, I think it's really, obviously, it's pretty impressive. Are there health concerns for you? Do you train all year? Have you ever been injured doing this, Mike?
All good questions. And I will say, it's not the prettiest run-in that you ever want to see. I actually came up with this concept before I was even a runner. And my sort of impetus was that the bigger thing you do, the more people are inclined to dig deep into their wallets and give significant amounts of money to help with a worthy cause. But along the way, I've enjoyed running. I seem to have the ability to run long distances and get up the next morning and do it again. Sometimes my knees get swollen. I've had some bumps and bruises, but so far I really haven't had any significant injuries. So God willing, I'll keep at it.
Yeah, and I would imagine this isn't about how fast you can go. It's a matter of getting it done, right? So you're not breaking any world records.
I will not break any world records, and anybody who wants to join, if they want to seriously run, that's great. If they want to jog, that's amazing. We have bikers this year. We've got a team from St. Johns County that's going to come up and meet us at the finish line. So it's anybody who wants to participate in any way, shape, or form. You want to just walk a mile, that would be amazing too.
Mike Freed, 2 key questions for the final minute that we have here. How much have you raised so far in these 4 years that you've done this? And how many children and families does that help?
Yeah, great question. So far, before this year began, we had already raised $1.5 million for this endowment. This year's going great. I think we're further ahead than we usually are this time. We expect to be on track to raise $2.25 million at the end of next year, and that'll endow this program forever. But we need more donations, and every dollar helps. We helped last year over 400 families and their children, of course, and that's year after year. So it's really impactful, and it's a great way to support a good cause.
Yeah, Mike, I think the effort is incredible. I appreciate what you're doing. I'm sure these families that you help because of this are so grateful as well. Best success, be healthy, and we'll look forward to seeing how well you do at the end of your run. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you.
All right, so next time we're previewing events for Veterans Day, and we're looking at the powerful way Northeast Florida supports members of the military and their families. Colonel Bill Cousins will be with us, an Army veteran who led the Navy League. This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. I'm Kent Justice. Thanks for watching on air on Channel 4 and the CW17, and you'll find us online at news4jax.com.
Why every day more people are choosing News 4 Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.